Dr. Maya Chen stared at the holographic display floating above her workstation, her heart pounding against her ribs. The numbers couldn't be right. She ran the simulation again, watching as streams of data coalesced into patterns that defied everything the Arxer had taught humanity about quantum mechanics. For 50 years, the Arxer had ruled Earth through their mastery of quantum technology. Their crystalline ships hung in the skies above every major city, silent reminders of their technological superiority. They called themselves guardians, protectors who had saved humanity from its own destructive tendencies. Their quantum networks controlled everything from global communications to power distribution, and they had made it clear that humanity's primitive technology could never interface with their advanced systems. But Maya had just proved them wrong. She glanced nervously at the security cameras watching her lab at the Global Institute of Quantum Studies. The Arxer had established the institute themselves, carefully controlling what humans could learn about their technology. Maya's official research focused on basic quantum field theory, nothing that could threaten their dominion. The real work happened in the hidden sub-basement lab, shielded from quantum scanners by layers of experimental metamaterials. "Computer, run validation sequence delta," she whispered. The holographic display shifted, showing the interaction between standard human binary systems and Arxer quantum fields. According to everything they had been taught, the two systems were fundamentally incompatible. But Maya had discovered something the aliens had missed. Their quantum technology wasn't purely quantum at all. There was an underlying classical framework, a rigid structure that actually made their systems more vulnerable than traditional human technology in certain situations. Maya had found a way to bridge the gap, creating hybrid systems that could interact with both. A soft chime interrupted her thoughts. Someone was coming down the secure elevator. Maya quickly closed the holographic display and activated the lab's camouflage systems. By the time the elevator doors opened, she was reviewing approved research papers at her desk. "Dr. Chen." The voice belonged to Overseer Crix, the Arxer administrator of the institute. The alien's crystalline exoskeleton shifted colors as it moved, currently displaying the deep blue of official authority. "Your latest reports are interesting." Maya kept her expression neutral. "Thank you, Overseer. I've been making progress in understanding the basic principles you shared with us." The alien's faceted eyes studied her. "Perhaps too much progress. Your models show an unusual grasp of quantum field dynamics. Some might say an impossible level of understanding, given your species' limitations." "I've simply been following the approved curriculum," Maya said carefully. "Everything in my reports comes directly from the materials you've provided." Crix moved closer, crystalline appendages clicking against the floor. "Then you won't mind explaining these anomalous power fluctuations we've detected in this sector. They bear a striking resemblance to quantum field manipulations." Maya's heart skipped a beat, but years of living under Arxer rule had taught her to control her reactions. "Environmental interference, most likely. Our primitive power systems are notoriously unstable." "Perhaps." Crix's exoskeleton shifted to a skeptical yellow. "We will be conducting a full scan of this facility tomorrow. I trust we won't find anything unauthorized." After the alien left, Maya waited 10 minutes before activating her secure communicator. The message she sent was brief. "They're scanning tomorrow. Time to move to Phase 2. Responses came quickly from hidden labs around the world. The Arxer thought they had contained humanity's scientific development, carefully controlling what humans could learn about advanced technology. They never realized that by teaching humans just enough to maintain their systems, they had given them the keys to their own downfall. Maya began the carefully planned evacuation sequence. By morning, the lab would be empty, its equipment redistributed to other hidden facilities across the globe. The Arxer would find nothing but an abandoned research space. As she worked, Maya allowed herself a small smile. The aliens had made one crucial mistake. They had assumed humanity would approach quantum technology the same way they did, never imagining that human creativity and ingenuity would find a completely different path. The revolution wouldn't come with weapons or armies. It would come through the quiet subversion of the very systems the Arcs used to maintain their control. And it had already begun. The basement of an abandoned factory in Mumbai hummed with activity as Dr. Arun Patil examined the hybrid quantum binary interface his team had constructed. Around him, 24 of Earth's brightest minds worked in focused silence, their equipment masked from Arcser detection by metamaterial shielding. Signal strength holding at 80%, his colleague Dr. Sarah Wong reported, monitoring the quantum field fluctuations. The Arcser's orbital sensors aren't detecting anything unusual. Arun nodded, studying the data streams flowing across his display. In the 3 months since Dr. Maya Chen's breakthrough, underground labs had sprung up in every major city. Each facility worked on a different aspect of the hybrid technology, sharing discoveries through a secure network that operated in the blind spots of Arcser surveillance. Mumbai base to network. Arun transmitted through their encrypted channel. Test sequence 17 complete. Uploading results now. Acknowledgements came from labs in Lagos, Berlin, Santiago, and a dozen other cities. What had started as isolated pockets of resistance had grown into a global scientific underground. The Arcser's rigid control of information had backfired spectacularly. By forcing human scientists to work in similar facilities worldwide, they had inadvertently created a pre-built network for collaboration. Dr. Patel called Zora, one of their youngest researchers. "You need to see this." She brought up a visualization of Arcser quantum communications. "I've been analyzing their transmission patterns, and there's something odd." Arun moved to her station, followed by Sarah. The display showed massive amounts of quantum data flowing between Arcser facilities. "Their communication volume has tripled in the past week," Zora explained. "They're scared." "They should be," Sarah said grimly. The power fluctuations in Singapore weren't an isolated incident. Labs across Asia have been testing the boundaries of their control systems. A priority alert flashed across their screens, a message from Maya Chen herself. Arun decoded it quickly, his expression growing serious. The Arcser are planning a global security sweep. They're deploying new quantum sensors designed to detect unauthorized field manipulations. "Let them search," Sarah replied with a confident smile. "Our hybrid systems don't register on their quantum scans. They're still looking for pure quantum technology. They can't imagine we found another way." Arun wasn't so sure. "We need to be careful. One mistake, one detection, and they'll realize what we're doing." He brought up the global network map, showing dozens of active research sites. "We should suspend all testing until after the sweep." "Actually," Zara interrupted, "this might be our best opportunity." She highlighted several points on the map. "When they activate their new sensors, they'll have to power down portions of their control network. If we time it right." Arun understood immediately. "We could use their own security sweep as cover to expand our access." He sent a quick message to Maya, outlining Zora's idea. The response came back almost immediately. "Proceed with caution. All labs prepare for Operation Blind Spot." Over the next week, the underground network worked in perfect synchronization. As the Arcser swept each sector with their new sensors, human scientists exploited gaps in their coverage to establish deeper connections to their quantum infrastructure. Every security measure the aliens implemented created new vulnerabilities for humanity to exploit. The Arcser's fundamental mistake was assuming that their technology was fundamentally superior rather than just different. They never considered that humanity's primitive binary systems might offer advantages their pure quantum technology lacked. While they searched for quantum signatures of human interference, the hybrid systems slipped through their defenses undetected. "Final sector clear," announced the Lagos lab. "No detection of hybrid systems. Operation Blind Spot complete." Arun allowed himself a moment of satisfaction before turning to his team. "Good work, everyone. But this was just the beginning. Now we start Phase 3. Direct manipulation of their control systems." Sarah looked up from her station. Maya's team has finished mapping their primary command protocols. We can begin inserting our own code into their network. How long before they notice? Zara asked. If we're careful, they won't. Not until it's too late. Arun brought up a diagram of the Arxer's global quantum network. Their system is built on absolute certainty. They never developed the error checking and security protocols we use in our technology because they believed quantum encryption was unbreakable. And we're not breaking it, Sarah added. We're bypassing it entirely, using pathways they never knew existed. A new message appeared on their secure channel. The Lagos lab had successfully infiltrated the Arxer's weather control system. Berlin reported access to their transportation network. Santiago had compromised their resource distribution protocols. Piece by piece, humanity was taking control of the very systems the Arxer used to maintain their dominion. The aliens still believed themselves invincible, secure in their technological superiority. They didn't realize that their empire was already crumbling from within. Send word to all labs, Arun instructed. Begin synchronized infiltration of secondary systems. Maintain quantum camouflage protocols. He paused, looking at his team. And remember, no direct confrontation. Let them keep believing they're in control. For now. The revolution continued in silence, spreading through quantum networks like a virus the Arxer couldn't detect. Humanity had learned patience under alien rule. They could wait a little longer for the right moment to show their oppressors just how much they had underestimated Earth's children. Overseer Crix's crystalline form pulsed with angry red patterns as it reviewed the latest system reports. Across Earth, Arxer control networks were experiencing unprecedented instabilities. Power grids fluctuated, weather control systems showed microsecond delays, and quantum communication channels reported increasing signal noise. Impossible, Crix muttered, its crystalline appendages clicking rapidly across the quantum interface. These systems are perfect. Perfect. But the evidence was undeniable. The Arxer's grip on Earth was slipping, and they couldn't understand why. Their quantum sensors detected no unauthorized access, their encryption remained unbroken, and their human subjects appeared to be continuing their approved research without deviation. In a hidden facility beneath Tokyo, Dr. Yuki Tanaka watched the Arxer's growing confusion with satisfaction. Her team had just successfully infiltrated the aliens' atmospheric control network, adding another system to humanity's silent takeover. Status report. She transmitted to the global network. The responses painted a picture of overwhelming success. Lagos had complete control of African power distribution. Sydney had compromised the orbital defense grid. Moscow had infiltrated the Arxer's global surveillance system. Each team used the hybrid quantum binary interface to slip through the aliens' defenses undetected. They still haven't realized what we've done, reported Dr. Chen from her new base in Vancouver. Their quantum monitoring systems are reporting everything as normal because they're only looking for quantum-based intrusions. Yuki smiled. The Arxer's greatest weakness was their inability to imagine solutions outside their rigid technological framework. They had dismissed human binary computing as primitive, never considering that it might offer capabilities their quantum systems lacked. Begin Phase 4, she transmitted. Selective system failures. Across the planet, human teams began introducing subtle errors into Arxer control systems. Weather control networks developed random blind spots. Power distribution became erratic in unpopulated areas. Quantum communication channels experienced increasingly frequent disruptions. The aliens responded exactly as expected, by implementing stricter quantum security protocols and increasing the power of their monitoring systems. Each new security measure created more vulnerabilities for humanity to exploit. They're getting desperate, Dr. Patel reported from Mumbai. Our sensors show them diverting massive energy reserves to system diagnostics and security suites. Let them waste their resources, Yuki replied. Every quantum scan they run gives us more coverage for our hybrid systems. A priority alert flashed across her display. The Arxer High Command had called an emergency session. Through their compromised surveillance networks, humanity watched as the alien leaders argued about the growing crisis. "These system failures are spreading," one crystalline figure declared, its form flickering with distress patterns. "Our control is weakening." "Impossible," another responded. "The humans lack the capability to interfere with our technology. These must be natural degradations in the quantum field." Yuki transmitted the feed to all resistance cells. "Watch and learn," she wrote. "This is what defeat looks like to a species that cannot imagine failure." The Arxers' response to the crisis revealed another crucial weakness: their hierarchical command structure. Each local overseer waited for instructions from above, afraid to act independently. By the time High Command issued directives, the situation had already evolved beyond their understanding. "All teams prepare for acceleration," Yuki transmitted. "Begin targeted disruption of primary control systems. Maintain quantum camouflage protocols." The revolution entered its final phase. Across Earth, Arxer control systems began failing at an increasing rate. Their weather control network developed catastrophic errors, forcing them to shut it down. Power distribution became so unreliable they had to revert to human-built backup systems. Their quantum communication channels degraded until they could barely maintain contact between their bases. Still, they couldn't comprehend what was happening. Their sensors showed no intrusions, their quantum encryption remained intact, and their human subjects appeared to be working normally at their assigned tasks. The truth was both simpler and more devastating than anything they could imagine. Humanity had already won. The Arxer were still looking for enemies wielding quantum technology like their own, while humans had developed something entirely new: a hybrid system that could control both quantum and binary domains. "Final status check," Yuki transmitted. "All teams report readiness for total system takeover." The responses came back quickly, each resistance cell confirming their control over their assigned systems. Humanity had achieved what the Arxer had thought impossible: complete infiltration of their quantum network. Tomorrow, they would reveal themselves, but not as the primitive beings the Arxer had dismissed. They would emerge as equals who had surpassed their oppressors through innovation and adaptability. The aliens were about to learn a harsh lesson. True technological superiority wasn't about having the most advanced systems. It was about having the creativity and flexibility to transcend existing limitations. The Arxer High Command Chamber erupted in chaos as every quantum display simultaneously failed, replaced by a single human interface. Dr. Maya Chen's face appeared on the screens, addressing the alien leaders directly. "Your systems are now under human control," she announced calmly. "Your quantum networks, defense grids, and orbital platforms all respond to our commands. Your rule ends today." The crystalline forms of the Arxer leaders flashed with patterns of disbelief and rage. High Commander Vex rose from its central platform, its exoskeleton pulsing with threatening reds and blacks. "Impossible. You lie. Our technology cannot be." Every light in the chamber went dark. When they returned, the quantum field that maintained the Arxer's artificial atmosphere had shifted, forcing them to activate their emergency environmental systems. "That was a warning," Maya continued. "We could have disabled your life support entirely. Instead, we chose to demonstrate our control without causing harm. Unlike you, we don't believe technological superiority justifies dominion over others." Through their compromised networks, resistance cells worldwide watched the confrontation. Dr. Patel's team in Mumbai monitored the Arxer's desperate attempts to regain control of their systems. In Tokyo, Dr. Tanaka's group maintained the quantum field disruptions that kept the aliens confined to their bases. "Your primitive binary systems cannot possibly interface with our quantum network," Vex insisted. "Our technology is fundamentally wrong." Maya interrupted. "Your understanding is fundamentally wrong. We didn't hack your quantum systems. We created something new, a hybrid technology that bridges both domains. While you were watching for quantum intrusions, we built an entirely different path." To demonstrate, She triggered a cascading shutdown of Arxer systems worldwide. Their orbital platforms went dark. Their weather control network deactivated. Their quantum communication grid collapsed. Within minutes, every alien system on Earth was under human control. 50 years ago, you came to Earth claiming technological superiority, gave you the right to rule us. Maya continued. You taught us enough about your technology to maintain your systems, believing we could never truly understand it. That was your first mistake. The Arxer leaders watched in growing horror as humans worldwide began activating their hybrid interfaces, revealing the full extent of the infiltration. Every research facility, every control center, every quantum network node now operated through human commands. Your second mistake was assuming that different meant superior. You dismissed our technology as primitive because it wasn't like yours. You never considered that we might find ways to use both systems together, creating something more powerful than either alone. Dr. Chen's team in Vancouver activated the final sequence, demonstrating humanity's complete control over the Arxer's orbital defense grid. The alien ships that had hung threateningly over Earth's cities for 50 years now responded only to human commands. We could use your own weapons against you, Maya said quietly. We could trap you here, cut off from your homeworld, at our mercy. But that's not why we developed this technology. We did this to prove that humanity deserves to stand as equals, not subjects. She gestured, and the quantum field stabilized. Life support systems returned to normal. Communication channels reopened, but now they operated through human interfaces, using the hybrid technology that had rendered pure quantum systems obsolete. You have a choice, Maya told the stunned alien leaders. You can accept that humanity has surpassed your technology and work with us as equals, or you can leave Earth and never return. Either way, your rule ends today. The Arxer High Command chamber fell silent as the aliens faced a reality they had never imagined possible. Their perfect quantum technology, the basis of their power, had been superseded by the very species they had dismissed as primitive. Around the world, humans emerged from their hidden labs, revealing the network of resistance that had operated beneath the Arxer's notice. The revolution hadn't come through violence or destruction, but through innovation and understanding. The age of alien dominion was over. Humanity had proved that true advancement came not from rigid adherence to a single technology, but from the creativity to imagine new possibilities and the courage to pursue them. 1 year after the liberation, Earth's skyline had transformed. Where once Arxer ships loomed as symbols of oppression, now hybrid quantum binary satellites orbited peacefully, maintaining the global network humanity had built from the remnants of alien control systems. In the Singapore Quantum Research Center, formerly an Arxer command base, Dr. Maya Chen stood before a group of human and Arxer scientists. The aliens who had chosen to stay had undergone their own revolution, abandoning their rigid hierarchies to work alongside humans as equals. The hybrid network is stable, she reported, displaying a holographic map of Earth's new infrastructure. Power distribution is 30% more efficient than pure quantum systems, and the binary backbone provides redundancy we never had before. Beside her, an Arxer scientist named Kex, its crystalline form now showing the calm blue of scientific curiosity rather than authoritarian control, manipulated the display. Our combined research has identified 17 new applications for hybrid technology. The integration of human binary logic with quantum processing has opened possibilities we never imagined. The cooperation between humans and Arxer had produced unprecedented advances. Hybrid systems proved superior to pure quantum technology in nearly every application, combining the processing power of quantum computing with the reliability and flexibility of binary systems. The first hybrid dry ships are ready for testing, Dr. Tanaka announced from Tokyo. Using both technologies, we've achieved faster-than-light travel without the stability issues that plagued pure quantum drives. The Arxer homeworld had been stunned by Earth's technological leap. Their society, built on the assumption of quantum supremacy, had to reevaluate everything they thought they knew. Many of their younger scientists now came to Earth to study hybrid technology, learning the innovation and adaptability that their rigid education system had discouraged. Dr. Patel's team in Mumbai had developed hybrid medical systems that combined quantum scanning with binary precision, revolutionizing healthcare. In Lagos, the weather control network now operated with greater accuracy than ever before, helping to restore Earth's climate after decades of alien manipulation. "We've completed the transition to civilian control," Sarah Wong reported from the Global Coordination Center. "All defensive systems now operate under the Joint Human-Arxer Council protocols." The council chamber itself symbolized the new era. Humans and Arxers sat together as equals, their differences becoming strengths rather than barriers. The aliens had learned that true advancement came not from imposing one's ways on others, but from combining diverse approaches to create something greater. Maya looked out at the city skyline, remembering the fear and oppression that had ruled just a year ago. The revolution had succeeded not through force or destruction, but through human ingenuity and determination. They had turned the very systems meant to control them into tools of liberation. The hybrid network detects a signal from deep space, an operator announced. Previously unknown quantum signature, approaching Earth. The room fell silent. Then Maya smiled. Earth was ready. Whether the signal meant new friends or potential threats, humanity had proven it could face any technological challenge. They had not only survived alien rule, they had emerged stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever before.